News now, 5 soldiers reportedly shot at an army post in Georgia. Now, this is at Fort Stewart, southwest of Savannah. According to Fort Stewart's Facebook page, the wounded soldiers were treated on site and then moved to a hospital. Officials say the shooter was taken into custody, and right now there's no active threat to the community and no word yet on a motive. Check KENS5.com for the latest updates. Right now, first responders in South Bexar County are still hard at work to try and put out a brush fire. It's about 90% contained now. That fire sparked Tuesday afternoon on Silver Mountain Drive. Earl Stoudemire has more.
Good afternoon, Sarah. You can see it for yourself. Anyone would be on edge, and that's what I was hearing from neighbors, seeing just a brush fire yards away from their home. The earth is scorched, trees are knocked over, there's smoke coming from the ground, and there's still hot spots left in the area. And firefighters, they've been working around the clock to keep this thing contained. So we spoke with fire officials about an hour ago, and they're saying it's at 90% containment. And they're saying the challenge with this fire is that the brush is so thick here that they're having to walk and use ATVs to put out the flames. 30 of these homes on Silver Mountain Drive had to be evacuated yesterday because a controlled burn got out of hand. Homeowners weren't able to return until 3:30 this morning. I spoke with one homeowner who says he had to save his handicapped brother and says a few years ago, another fire happened in the area.
This place is situated right in the middle of nothing but ranches around it, or empty property, undeveloped land, and it's brush, it's dense brush, where a brush fire can start real easy, real quick.
Now, thankfully, no homes were damaged and no one was injured. But I'm gonna ask Sharavius behind the camera, just go ahead and zoom out so everyone can get a look at how much damage we're having here in South Bexar County. This is what first responders are having to deal with, and they're saying it's gonna take a few days for the fire to completely burn out. So whenever we get any new information, we'll be sure to keep you posted. But for now, reporting live in South Bexar County, Earl Stoudemire, KENS 5.
A lot of damage. The standoff between Texas lawmakers is intensifying today. We heard from Texas Democrats in Boston just a while ago.
Our state's leadership is trying to redraw congressional lines in the middle of a decade with no new census, no new data, and no legitimate reason except to serve one man's political ambition.
Governor Abbott has filed a lawsuit to try and remove House Democratic Caucus Chair State Representative Jean Wu from office in that emergency petition. The governor claims Wu was the ringleader for Democrats to break quorum and block a vote on congressional redistricting. The governor is asking the Texas Supreme Court to take his House seat from him. Wu says he will fight back. Meanwhile, U.S. Senator John Cornyn is calling on the FBI to get involved. He wants the agency to investigate Texas Democrats who fled the state. The FBI declined to comment on his request. Now, this is what President Trump said when he was asked if the FBI should step in.
Well, I think they've abandoned the state. Nobody's seen anything like it, even though they've done it twice before. And in a certain way, it almost looks like they've abandoned the state. It looks very bad. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Should the FBI get involved? Should the FBI get involved?
Well, they may have to. They may have to.
So Texas law enforcement officers have no jurisdiction to arrest the lawmakers out of state. Today marks 80 years since the U.S. dropped the world's first atomic bomb on the Japanese city of Hiroshima, killing 140,000 people. Leaders from 120 countries and territories were at Hiroshima's Peace Memorial Park today to honor the victims, and many of the aging survivors joined them.
I saw 1,000, 2,000 of people quietly just moving and crossing and approaching you. They're all wounded, burned, and no clothes, no hair, and no shoes, just moving, trying to escape this fire.
Japan's prime minister says his country is committed to bring about a world without nuclear weapons. And that's KENS 5 News now on this Wednesday. Be sure to follow us on KENS 5 Plus.